Hey book friends, how's it going? It's Kat. I hope you had wonderful holidays. I can't believe it's January already. Seems like the holidays flew by as always, which kind of makes me sad because I love those times and I feel like it's so bittersweet when it's over. There's definitely a feeling of heightened anticipation regardless of your age during Christmas time. You know, it can be hard on people and I certainly recognize that in my own life. But then here comes January and I live in the Midwest. It's cold and it's dreary and there's not so many sunny days. So thank God I have these amazing books to read and talk with you about them. Today's video is another super steamy book. Today's video is about the book Liar by Fiona Cole. I have read several of Fiona's books, not all of them, several. I've read, just pulling up my phone here, I didn't want to forget any of her books that I've read. I've read Another, Liar, Shame, Voyeur, Lovers, and then she has a couple more. And then actually she released, just within the last day or two, the kind of like pre-story to this book, Liar, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't get a chance to read it. I'm so into her writing, super steamy. There's an edge of kinkiness. It's definitely different than most of the things that I read. And you know I read primarily romance novels. I read all kinds, everything in the genre for the most part. There's something a little different and a little special about Fiona's writing. This book, which takes place in, and when you look at these books, when you look them up on Amazon, you can see and you can tell by the covers that they're all in the same world. So they all surround this club called Voyeur, which is owned by a couple of the characters, and then the different characters in the different books either work there or go there or work with them. So it all surrounds Voyeur. And this book is about Olivia and Alexander Kent, who goes by Kent for the most part. All the chapter headings were Kent. You know, a couple of people call him Alexander in the book, but mostly, you know, his name is Kent. And so the book that the novella she released was how they met, which we didn't know when the book started. This book, Liar. Is that confusing? In any case, we know that they have met before. We know that Kent is a family friend. We know that this is an age gap romance, so there is a pretty good age difference between them. They met before, she was a little bit younger. Now she is 20 or 21 and he's in his late 30s. As with you can expect when you find out that this is kind of a forbidden, taboo, age gap romance, that is going to be a major part of their relationship and in them figuring out if they can be together. And then you add the extra thing of him being a family friend, and it's like, who's going to react well to that because there's such an age difference. Something about Olivia that I really liked is, and this would say I would agree with all of Fiona's female characters, they are strong women regardless of their age. We get to see them. Some of the previous books, all the characters actually, like I said, it's all in the same world. We get to see those other characters pop up in this book, which I loved. So somebody that I loved hearing from and seeing a little bit in the book was Karina. I did a video on Fiona's previous book, which is Another, which is Karina's story. Karina is such a kick-ass chick. I adored her. I had such a girl crush on her. That being said, it speaks to how Fiona writes her women characters, and Olivia was the same. I loved her feistiness. I loved her confidence in the bedroom, even at such a young age. Kent is, like I said, in his later 30s, an established businessman. Not wandering, but, you know, hasn't settled down, was married before, didn't work out. And so it was interesting to me that somebody like him with his tastes in the bedroom found somebody that was his exact equal, and yet she just happened to be so much younger than him. I have read other age gap books. probably 10 of them. But something about their age gap and how Fiona wrote it, their compatibility, their age didn't even come into play, that they were so compatible in so many aspects of their life, inside and outside of the bedroom. The story really was so awesome in how they, in a lot of ways, it reminded me of the previous book that I read, in that they were so compatible, and it's like they found each other when they met and they had their intimacy. Their compatibility rocked them, and they were like, whoa. And that gave them, and they knew they wanted to do that again because it was amazing for both of them. But that compatibility propelled them to want to move forward. And they didn't move forward right after their first interaction together. It was a while later, but that gave them, I don't know how to describe it, like a sense of security and a bond. That's what it is. It formed a bond between them. And their relationship grew from that. And it's so funny because you think about all the different types of love stories. There's friends to lovers, there's the bully romance, there's the second chance romance. I find stories like this so interesting because it starts with, to me, one of the most vulnerable positions you could put yourself in, and yet they are so free with it because of the lifestyle that they want to live and choose to live, and they have a place to live it, which is Voyeur, the club. So to me, that's so interesting because it's so opposite. Maybe a little TMI, but it's so opposite of me and how I found my own way. And so the fact that they are able just to like be that confident in themselves and to like put themselves out there like that, and then to find that other person, it's really intriguing to me. And I really enjoy that it's so different in not only in my reading life, but in how my normal life is. There's definitely enough drama in Olivia and Kent's story to have you wondering, okay, how and if are they going to get there? It seemed like they were going, and that it was all fun and playful until it wasn't. And they started realizing that even though their attraction to each other, give into all the time and enjoy, slowly they realize that it's so much more than that. And I wondered where the title was going to come in. And honestly, it got me probably 3/4 of the way through. And I was like, where's the title? Who's the liar here? Where the title came in, it was at such a pivotal moment. And I don't like to give spoilers, so I'm not going to tell you where I found the title because it might be different from where you find where the title fits in. But it was at such a pivotal time that it was the actual perfect time. And it was like the pinnacle of the story. And I was like, oh my God. And that's where the book kind of like smacked me in the head and was like, okay, this is the meat of the story. This right here is what I've been waiting for. I think when in life that your family, your friends, if it's healthy, they always want the best for you. And there's a relationship that I absolutely adored in this book. And it was the relationship between Kent and his best friend Daniel. And how, like, the bromance that they had. And, it's sprinkled in there. And it's definitely a big deal to both Olivia and Kent. Daniel is. But there was something about that relationship with Kent and Daniel that I really liked. And I had such a soft spot for them and that relationship, their friendship. When it came time for them to like make it or break it as a couple and like come out as a couple, excuse my dog barking in the background. She's barking at the mailman. She's not in here with me, so she's not like knocking over things and snoring. When it came time for them to come out as a couple, I thought it was so interesting that and this was someplace where their age gap showed to me. Kent was worried about it and how they would be received, but Olivia was scared, and her fear got in the way of her strength and her normal underlying strength that she had. And I thought that was the part for me where their age showed the most. Nowhere else in this book did their age show a difference to me. And I think, in my opinion, it's because with age comes wisdom. There comes a point where you don't really care if anyone likes you. You're happy with the friends you have, and a comfortableness. And so to me, it seemed like Olivia, for the old soul that she was, and as mature as she was, she didn't have the life experience to be able to work through her fear and not let it stand in her way in some ways. Whereas, like I said, Kent had the life experience, you know, was kind of like, you know, we'll work it out. It will work out. We just need to be strong and be together, and everything else will fall into place. And those were the things that I loved so much about their story. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know if you have read Liar in the comments below, or any of the other books that I mentioned by Fiona Cole. I would love for you to take a second to subscribe to my channel. I try to upload at least a video a week. I'm so glad that I took the plunge and put myself out there. I have met some wonderful people. It's a great time to be a reader in this book community. So make sure that you follow me on social media so we can all get together and share our book recommendations and meet each other and say hi. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.